So now that it's beveled, right, I did this little skull drawing. I just traced around the outside of the block or my plate and then drew within that. And while I've got this pencil and paper, what I was talking about with the bevel is that if this is how you want the corners to look, right, so it's a perfectly kind of straight up and down corner. In other words, I'll do it bigger. So this is my bevel. So you get to the corner and it's nice and even. What'll happen if you're not careful is it'll do this. Right? It'll get it wider because it cuts a little more because don't have so much of the file on the plate. So with this, what I'm going to do, since I can't really see, you know, it's like with the clear, it's tough to see. I'm going to, with my etching needle, I'm going to very lightly go around and it's not easy to do this in a low light. Luckily, it's not anything I was just going to do a random. And on Tuesday, I'll do a more elaborate one over the weekend and show you what we're going to do with the monotype aspect of it. But all I've done is very lightly go around and any kind of mark on this will print. So even the faintest little scratch because the plex is perfectly smooth. So any inadvertent mark, so when you're beveling it, you've got to be careful you don't slip with the file. And I'll show, I filmed it, so. So I've got this really light mark, and then I'm going to transfer it. Do you guys see that at all? Like, can you see the white there? I'm going to have to put more light over here. It is really faint, but you can see it when you put it on the black paper, you can see it. Yeah, I'll see if I can make it a little bit lighter. Maybe drop it down. You'll see it once I go deeper. There you go. But you can see just as if you don't want this, you don't want this to be too noticeable. And all these really faint scratches, when I print this, they would print. Like if I just printed it now, they would be very faint lines, but they would still print. But the nice thing about drypoint is I can have these really faint lines. Hand out of the way. And again, the direction of the mark becomes really important. So I can have really faint, all these would show up, and they're going to show up. You can do cross hatching, and it pretty much prints just the way you see it here, only as a positive, right? It's like you're looking at the negative version of it. So if I go darker, like really bear down on it, you'll also notice that your etching needle, like I usually have like a little scrap piece of Plex next to it, because it's not the same sharpness everywhere. Like you want to, it'll be sharper at one point, holding it one way, than it will the other. So you kind of twist it till you can feel it really dig in. And I don't want to do too long with this. And it's these burrs that I'm raising, like this plate will feel rough. But all these burrs will print, and if I'm doing cross hatching really close together, that will print as a solid black, a really rich black. Again, the direction of your mark becomes important. So that's all I'm going to do with it. But you can see, right, whatever's showing up white here is going to print black. Let me kind of clean it off a little bit. So it goes pretty quick. But you can, I mean, you have to be, that's why you don't want to work too huge. I mean, your drawings, you're basically doing it with a needle. And this is pretty straightforward. Run your hand across that, and you'll feel the roughness of the burr. And then these are two that I showed her that, like this one, I left the ink on it.